Wānanga kahika o te Nehenehenui, tēnā rā tātou katoa. Nau mai, haere mai ki te whare o te reo irirangi o Maniapoto. Welcome to another webinar series, Te Puna Kōrero o te Nehenehenui. Well, it's New Zealand Music Month, and for more than 22 years, Kiwis have been celebrating everyone and everything in the music industry right across Aotearoa. Firmly entrenched as part of our cultural landscape, the month of May has gone from a period of encouraging radio to play more local tunes to a 31-day celebration of homegrown talent right across the length and breadth of the country. And so tonight's session, we celebrate New Zealand Music Month with some of our very own local talent, some aspiring Maniapoto artists. To learn more from them and to share their experiences within the music industry, it gives me great pleasure to welcome Rākai Fofo, Puhi Waiora Ngāwaka, Jada Beasley, Christelle Tāpara, and Shane Herangi Mohini. Yaku whanaunga, tēnā koutou. It's lovely to see you all. It's certainly an eclectic mix of artists this evening, and I know our whānau are wanting to learn more from you all. So let's just very quickly go around the room with some quick introductions. Ko wai koe no whea koe, a little bit about yourselves and where you're from. And kei te whātu te rākau ki a koe te tuakana e Rākai. Tēnā koe. Aloha, my bro. I'm just going to quickly interrupt. I think we might have some sound problems.
Tā te rongo iai?
Ka pai. Tēnā koe. Tēnā koe. Kia ora.
Kia ora te whānau. E mihi ana ki te kaupapa, tēnā tā kia koutou Maniapoto FM, ko whai wāhi mai mātou. A ki tēnei kaupapa tāhua. Ko ai tēnei, ko Rākai haki ki te haere whauwhau tēnei. He uri tēnei no Waikato Maniapoto, I tupu ake I ngā rekereke o ngā tihaua o Tauwhare Marae. I'm currently a primary school teacher, teaching tauono tamariki. I'm at a tribal kura, he kura āiwi, so a lot of the kaupapa that don't get past our iwi members before coming into the kura, so that's one of the special things about our kura. But on the side, I'm also an aspiring musician, been composing waiata since I was 15, probably, fortunate enough at kura. And then having to cope with the āhuatanga of life, having tamariki, sort of put my music to the side. And finally settling down now, so getting the opportunity to release my first single back in April now. So it's been a month of good learning for myself and my whānau and how we can adapt to this lifestyle of music. Also full-time kaiako, full-time papa. So it's been a bit of a journey, but also I'm grateful to have a big team behind me. I wouldn't be able to do anything that I do without my whānau and support. So yeah, that's a little bit about me. Kia ora.
Oh, tēnā koe. Well, we're really grateful to have you on board, and you spoke about your single, and no doubt we're going to talk more about your single a little bit later on in the evening. So ka pai tēnā koe. If we move next to you, Rākai, we've got the wonderful team from Melodica, Christelle and Shane. Tēnā kōrua.
Kia ora. So yeah, like Winston said, we're part of Melodica. My name is Christelle, and yeah, currently living in Aotearoa. We've been together for about 5 years, and through that we've had a lot of ups and downs, and a lot of cool experiences at the same time. But I've been in the industry for about the same time. I used to live in Australia for about 9 years prior to coming home. And I never really thought that, this could be an option. As I think, we go through at our younger ages thinking, oh, that's just, something you see on TV. But it's cool to meet you guys, and it's cool to be in the band. And I don't know what Shane's experience is, but it's been good so far.
Kia ora whanau, my name is Shane. Like Christelle, I'm part of Melodica. We're a 4-piece vocal band. The experience within Melodica has been great. We've been, as Christelle said, it was about 5 years we've been together. All different types of artists and different variety of people within our band itself. But I think all our different personalities tend to mix and blend really well. It's been quite an exciting journey, and I can't wait to kind of share our journey with everybody tonight.
Ka pai, tēnā koe, tēnā kōrero. Thank you both. And we'll certainly talk a little bit more about, I guess, that variety that you have amongst your team in Melodica. So thank you for coming on board this evening. Right, up to the top of our screens, and I guess for me being the thorn between two roses, let's go with the first rose. Tēnā koe, Puhi.
Maria ora whanau. Tēnā koe. So ko Puhi Waora ngā waka tōku ingoa. No ngā hapu wanga o Maniapoto ahau. So I'm 1/5 of the crew 432. Currently living here in Hamilton at the moment. I work for Te Runanga o Kōrero in residential care, working with the rangatahi, and I'm keen to get onto our kaupapa too, so I'll let the sis introduce herself as well.
Ka pai.
Cool. Tēnā tātou te whānau. Ko Jada Beasley ahau. On my dad's side, I'm from Omanaya up in Ngāpuhi, as well as Ngāti Naho, Ngāti Whawhākia, I roto i a Rahui Pōkeka. And then on my mum's side, I'm from Aotearoa Moana, Kawhia Moana. But yeah, currently living in Hamilton, born and bred here, and I'm also helping out in our youth advocacy side of things, so peer education, facilitation and support groups is something that I'm passionate about, and I'm also real keen to share our journey of 432. So,
Ka pai, tēnā koe, Jada. Kia ora, Puhi, and certainly we're looking forward to learning more of your journey with 432. And just want to remind all of our whānau that are watching that if you do have any pātai that you want to ask of our Maniapoto artists that are here this evening, then you can pop your questions in the comment section of the Facebook page, and we'll be able to ask those questions of our homegrown talent a little bit later on this evening. But if I can come to you, Rākai, just we know that many of the whānau have heard you sing, they've seen you perform, but there are many of our whānau who may not be familiar, with the name Rākai Fofo. So can you just share with us a little bit more about your musical journey, and I guess what influences you in your music?
Pātai pai. I guess if we go deep, then my journey started when my father was a musician. Well, he's still a musician, but when he began his journey, and so that was me and my little brother always e haere tahi ana ki tōna taha, ki ngā kaupapa, ki ngā konohe te aha rānei. And that sort of sparked the drive and the aspiration within me as a tamaiti. But growing up, I would say kapahaka sort of molded me to sort of try out different aspects of pūoro, performing arts, theatre work, vocals, and that sort of drive the passion within me to sort of compose. So within kura, a lot of the kaupapa back in school, you get those rangatahi kaupapa, going out with friends, partying, ko te aroha, ngā kaupapa tino nui. And as I grow up, we get into kaupapa such as mātauranga, feeding the next generation, tikanga Māori, reo Māori, revitalisation, and sort of that's where I get a lot of my motivation from. Being a first speaker of te reo Māori, I sort of find myself grateful for that. Just that trait within my whānau. I know a lot of my whanaunga didn't grow up with te reo Māori, and that sort of seeing all the whānau do that mahi now, trying to sort of not so much catch up, but finally seeing that there is fruition through tikanga Māori, reo Māori, kapahaka. Kapahaka can take you around the world. Being Māori is, one of a kind thing in the world these days. So it's just sort of pushing that look into our people and saying, giving that motivation for rangatahi out there to do the mahi. And that's where I sort of, again, a lot of inspiration from my mahi kāko as well, from teaching. But I would say growing up with my father, being a musician, sort of experienced the whole studio life, and not until I think it was after university, my partner was a bit like, stop wasting your music, stop wasting your talent, and never mind going to Facebook and YouTube and all of that stuff, because that's what everyone was doing back in the days, posting YouTube videos. So I was just trying to keep up with the trend, and instead of genuinely releasing my type of music, my type of messages. So I think it's a forever changing sort of motivation for myself. I find a lot of different kaupapa come up in different seasons, and but I find a lot of joy from my te ao Māori. That's pretty much where I go to for everything that I do. Ka hono ki takitaha ao Māori, and that sort of guides me to whether if I'm going to release a Pākehā song or a Māori song. You never know if I'm going to intertwine both languages. It all depends on the feeling and the moment of time, to be honest, for myself.
Yeah. Now, just very quickly, you mentioned that you're a kaiako. Have the tamariki kind of realised that you're a superstar? That you're a person that appears on TV and music videos. Have they realised, I guess, that their matua is a famous person?
Well, I'm not gonna lie, they do sort of bring that term up. Me takiki, I'm just someone just normal like everyone else doing their mahi, and I guess that's where I find where I've succeeded when I see my tamariki walking around kuta singing my songs. That's pretty much all I need, They really need the fame, the succession, and all of that. If I can see my tamariki walking around singing my wata, then that's me. I've already ticked my boxes. So that's cool.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Some wonderful success stories there. If I can come to you, Puhi and Jada, we know that you both form part of a band. Can you just kind of explain to us how did 432 begin it, and probably start off just by explaining 432, because it's spelled FOUR 32.
Cool. So so last year November, we actually created 432 using our passion for music, using our passion for rangatahi, and how we actually got our name. How we got our name is through a natural frequency for the universe. So like sound waves, and 432. If you set your sound frequency at 432, it actually helps relax the soul and the mind.
Wow.
So it's pretty flash, but it is something that we all relate to, and it's also 3 of 4 numbers of our postcode we all first met at. So 3204, centre of Hamilton, is where we first laid eyes on each other and started our passion for rangatahi. So yeah.
Not to be that guy too, but just to add, like Bob Marley and Prince and all them, they tune their music to the frequency 432. So we were like, that meant to be.
Nice. And so your other team members, they obviously had the same calling as you both, and you've all come together.
Yeah, we did. So about 4 years ago, we actually met through leadership development and leadership opportunities through our organisation, Te Aotearoa Rangatahi. And we all noticed that not all our rangatahi relate to learning things on paper and pen. They learn through music, through arts, and so we're just here trying to empower them through the music.
Yeah, and I know that you guys are doing a wonderful job, and we'll talk a little bit more about your antics that you guys have been getting up to on Facebook shortly. But if I can come to you, Christelle and Shane, and you two both are part of a band called Melodica. Can you take us back and share with the whānau how you guys all came together and how Melodica got its name?
Oh, yeah. So melodica is actually a musical instrument. But prior to melodica, as I said, we were together for about 5 years, and we all kind of congregated at this open mic night, I suppose, in Kirikiridor. And we were all kind of doing our own little thing, and the other two men, we've got Sam and Kane, who are part of our other members, part of our group. They were on stage doing their thing, and then we kind of showed up and were encouraged to jump on and have a bit of a jam as well. So eventually, after that jam session, we decided, we all wanted to kind of do a project together and come together and make some music. And then throughout our 5 years, we had a couple of different things happen to our band. We had a name change. We had things just kept changing. And then within the last probably 2 years, about two or 3 years, we decided to rename, regroup, and start fresh. So we come up with the name Melodica, which is named after a musical instrument. And then we started kind of our journey from there.
Yeah. So shout out to Sam and Kane that aren't here, but
No, I say some wonderful developments and growth for Melodica, and we'll talk a little bit more about the team a little bit later on this evening. But just a reminder again to our whānau at home to send your pātai in, pop them into the comment section below on the Facebook page, and we'll get to some of those a little bit later on. But if I can come back to you, Rakai, and we'll talk about your latest single shortly. But first, can you just, I guess, share with us your experiences and maybe challenges of being a solo artist, and I guess kind of coming away and taking the music industry on your own?
I guess networks is a big thing. Having those connections with whānau members who have certain skills that can get your waiata over the line. I was fortunate enough to get support from Te Māngai Pāho, and that process alone was a whole wānanga in itself. And so I had gone through the process of getting declined. I think I got declined once, and there weren't really any clear reasons on why I got declined, so I kept trying. And fortunate enough, last year managed to get funding for the single that I just released, and just that I think that skill alone is also a challenge. Going through paperwork. A lot of our whānau, Māori whānau, find hard to fill in forms, overcomplicate forms, and all of that. And I just felt like it was like teaching. Like, it's not hard mahi, but there's heaps of mahi to do. So it was pretty much getting all the documents in line, tax invoices, everything, and all of that, so that nothing on your end was faulty for the acceptance of funding. And so that process was a really big eye opener for myself. And I straight away, once I got my song, that was me straight away going to all my mates. Hey, you need to make your Te Wāngai Pāhua account. I can take you through the process. And just seeing those type of opportunities not really accessible to our people when it's out there. And giving that helping hand for whānau, and knowing that a lot of our composers out there don't really have the funds to necessarily release the waiata. So seeing this side of things, of doing all the paperwork, and I was fortunate enough to also get a mentor by Te Māngai Pāho, who was pretty much using her networks to get me through to sort of things like publicists, interviews, radio, and all of that stuff. So pretty much knowing everything to do with a release before actually getting a manager, because I knew I'm that kid that watched too much movies and don't want to get done by my manager, just that stereotypical type of things that sort of scares me, and I just wanted to be realistic and know every single process of a release before actually getting someone to manage myself, and so I can focus on the music. So I think that's a really big step before actually getting into the industry, is creating networks, finding your niche, finding what type of sound you might release a waiata, and that's just your first waiata. You've got artists that released hundreds of songs and they're all different. So I think having that follow the process type of mentality, it's not going to happen overnight. Everything, is, I believe, everything happens for a reason. If it's going to work out, it's going to work out. If it doesn't, then don't sort of let it stress you out. But I guess having the networks and having that strong whānau support as well, that sort of got me over the line majority of the times, having to go away from whānau and babies, leaving your partner home with the tamariki all the time. That's something I really like to do. So time management is key, especially when it's something that you don't do full time. Managing your time, and also just having fun. A lot of the time, you get caught up in the whole politics of music, trying to didn't get enough likes, didn't get enough views. As long as it's out there. It's for the world to see. Facebook is an international platform for everyone, so it's going to be seen across the world anyway. So I think it's just having that tunnel vision. Don't sort of. Everyone's different. It's got their own flavor in music, and that's pretty much what I'm trying to portray in my mahi, is that you can be yourself, do whatever.
Nice.
And just like our tuahine over there, supporting up, making sure our rangatahi have the confidence to know that this is a pathway for them. I know a lot of our tamariki have those skills, of dancing, hip hop, and it's a big part of the music industry. So I think these type of ahua, such as funding, these webinars are good for our rangatahi to see that these opportunities can be achieved. But
Whapai. And you've certainly given some good advice, especially for our solo artists, our aspiring solo artists out there. But you did touch on, keeping it fun, and I guess that's quite relevant for 432. Because we've seen on Facebook, the band's videos. They're really entertaining, and it certainly gives us an insight into the personalities of the team. But maybe for Puhi and Jada, can you just share with us what it's like, working alongside other talented rangatahi, and how you stay focused as a team?
Focused. That's a big word for us, I guess. It's definitely overwhelming at times, because obviously we all individually have strong personalities. But in saying that, because we have worked for 4 years prior to us making our crew, like we kind of know where each other stands and where our strengths and weaknesses lie. So when we do come together, we're very synergetic. So like all our differences and all our out there personalities, they just seem to fit for some reason. And that's been awesome to work with, and like obviously it's gotten us this far. So like 5 years together, we obviously we have an impact and have a voice, and people are listening to us. So it's been awesome. Our opportunities have been like overwhelming, so we've been beyond grateful for everything that we've been getting and being hit up for and all of that. But focused. Focus is, I wouldn't say that would be like a word for us. We're very good at like going with the flow, and when we find our creative flow, that's when the magic starts to happen. But that could take up to like 2 hours of us just sitting there talking, laughing, and then yeah, our manager has realized that she can't put a limit on our practices when we are together, because the creative flow happens when it happens. So
Absolutely.
it is what it is. I guess we're still rangatai, and then the focus is coming. We'll get there.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that's the key thing too, is just keeping it real, keeping it yourselves, just keeping it natural, and that certainly comes across. And honestly, the videos that you guys have got on your Facebook page is just hilarious. And I think we might just talk about that a little bit later on. But if I can come to you, Shane and Christella, and Shane, you kind of mentioned this earlier on in the evening, talking about the I guess the variety of the team members, because I saw recently an interview where a colleague shared that different band members can speak different languages like Filipino and Korean and Japanese and obviously Te Reo, and that you're all just professionally trained music artists. So with all of that skill set, does it make creating music and I guess the production side of things just that much easier when you're in the studio together?
Yeah, I suppose so. I mean, when you get behind the mic, it's like a different, I don't know what it is, because every time I get up behind the mic, it's like something different. I've never, you get into the zone and you're like, you go somewhere else. You have to, though. You have to put yourself, somewhere else, because it gets a bit, daunting at times. But yes, we do have a I don't know, a wide range of personalities in our group. I would say that Kane is probably a bit of a jokester. He likes to, make fun, or he likes to joke around a lot. Sam, he's probably our chilled out guy, actually. Shane, what? He's Shane. Like that. And I'm the only girl, so it's kind of hard to rein the boys in. When we get all excited.
But it's kind of good though, because you've got 4 different personalities, but for some reason we've learned how to kind of blend and learned how to infuse our personalities into something that's quite different, I suppose, when it comes to sounds, because even now, we're still trialing our own sound and trying to inspire ourselves to make music that we quite enjoy and what others might like as well. So once we kind of come together as one in the studio, we for some reason it just works. And we just manage to just come together and blend. Outside the studio, I mean, a little bit like most other groups, it's all good. We all understand, we all sit there and we have a good old laugh, or sometimes we don't, we don't mix and mingle, we kind of still trying to kind of pull our strengths together. But in the crunch of things and at the pressures, you just, you kind of just pull it out of the hat and then, boom, we kind of just
and then ta-da.
And I guess just talking about that, it's been said that melodica has some strong connections with musicians overseas, from the Philippines, from the United States. But even so, just wondering how important is New Zealand Music Month to you as a band, and what kind of impact does that have on melodica?
Well, I think it's important that we stick to our roots, just as people, for us, us venturing off onto different areas of music, or different cultures as well, for us, to keep us grounded and keep us, we think it's real important to try and keep ourselves here as well. So a bit of background behind the actual music that we make, we get so we had a big influx of people who really enjoyed our Filipino music. So what they did was that we had this big brainstorm and ways to think about how we could kind of infuse 2 different cultures into one. So what we did was that we decided, all right, well, we're going to create original Filipino music, but in the styles of New Zealand, like a New Zealand sound. I won't say it's reggae, but I'll say it's like a New Zealand sound. This is us trying to connect and trying to fuse cultures together. So that we're kind of inspiring everybody, all different cultures, that we're all one. Like there's only, not being controversial, but the only race that we should be worried about is the human race. So us being together and us kind of fusing those two cultures together will hopefully encourage others to kind of do something similar. So that's kind of our little goal.
We've had some really cool experiences, especially with the Filipino community. I would say, because we work with some cool producers like Sam Dignadice and his wife Rain, and we recently met up with the Filipino ambassador Gary, which was cool too, because
and we kind of so we're starting to do like little projects within there to try and push our focus and what we want to do within the music scene for us, and what our inspiration is. So we're doing small projects with him just to kind of like infuse those cultures and see where that
makes some good music, really, at the end of the day.
But again, and trying to keep it fun, it is like what we've all said. Music is supposed to be fun. This is, it brings a mood, and it brings a vibe. So no matter what you're singing or what language you're in or whatever you're listening to, it gives you this, that feel. So
yeah. Awesome work that you guys are certainly doing, and certainly something to watch out for moving forward. If I can come to 432, we're only halfway through New Zealand Music Month. Just wondering what kind of exposure or opportunities has this month of May created for 432.
Yeah, cool. So basically this month we've been pretty full on with our first single that's due to drop at the end of this month. So that'll be our first waiata. But throughout the month we've been kind of been running around with a whole music video aspect of everything. Like I said, the whole contracting side of that, as well as we kind of just putting our foot in the door with the industry. We've been quite full on. But it's been amazing. We've had our crew's had the opportunity of working with Jamie Ferguson on our waiata, and he actually does a bit of a sax solo. So it was beyond amazing working with him. He's the man. Just pretty much been helping us with our instrumentals, individually as well as a crew, working on our blends and harmonies. And one of the bros, Nanai Elkington, he's our producer. He actually got the privilege of working down in Wellington with Israel Starr on the mix as well. So we've had heaps of opportunities, but the top two will probably be working with Jamie and Israel, because they've enhanced our track and made the quality on next level, and helped us find our sound as a crew. So we've had nothing but opportunities and great experiences so far. So it's been awesome.
Nice. And that's absolutely good to hear. Great to hear too, hear of these opportunities and experiences. Just wondering, Lakai, for you being a solo artist, you've come from a strong musical background. You've got some strong networks as well. Has New Zealand Music Month, has that made any difference to you as a musician, as a solo artist? Every month.
Yeah, not really. If you sort of listen to my playlist, it's a lot of roots people, Maori artists, people that I grew up listening to. And majority of us, is New Zealand artists. So I feel like it's just another month to, I guess, to appreciate the mahi that all our peers before us have provided for us, aspiring artists to create our own goals, so that we can maybe have a stomp in this month for rangatahi to fulfill their music dreams. But Not really, but it's more so like I was fortunate enough to for my single to everyone that was a part of that. My single, we all went to Kura Kaupapa together. So that was one thing that was really empowering for myself in the process of creating, was being able to have networks that I went to school with, brothers that I could easily connect with. So those barriers weren't there to overcome in terms of meeting new people, meeting new networks. I was fortunate enough in that space, but I guess it's just another opportunity for myself to find my stomp in this music month. How can I make a difference, really? But I feel like there's New Zealand Music Month every month.
Yeah, absolutely. And all of you, you're all doing some wonderful changes, some wonderful differences in the music scene. And I know that we're all really excited to hear from you all over the coming weeks, months, and certainly years ahead. And just talking about, I guess, looking forward to that, let's just take a look at some of the questions that have come through from our whānau, because I know that a lot of our whānau have been intently watching this evening, and this first partai comes from Ray's, and the question is, who are your inspirations for all of you? And I guess maybe Raka, if I can begin with you, because you kind of touched on that a little bit earlier on.
I guess I can start with my upbringing, my parents, my grandmother. A lot of Māori artists, Brannigan Carr, Whiri Mako Black, all those old school Māori musicians, Rui Arania, Rob Bruha, Meisirika. Those are sort of the pioneers of the music that I'm trying to pursue at the moment. But I also had those other inspirations in high school with the hip hop world, a lot of rock bands. My dad being a musician, he also listened to a wide range of genres. So there was a lot of people that we looked up to in terms of music, but I would say a lot of those inspirations come from Māori music.
Yeah, absolutely. And I guess for melodica, you're an eclectic bunch. What's your inspiration as to get together as a team for melodica moving forward?
I think we're still trying to figure that out. We're still, because we're so like few and far between when it comes to like music. So we've got we
all have different outlooks
tastes.
on how our artistry, eh?
Yeah.
So even though I did mention that we come together as one, we all have our own kind of not so much personal gains, but our own inspirations, I suppose. So as a group, I mean, what we try and focus on is togetherness and embracing everyone and cultures. As individuals, we're all quite different as well. Just like Rakai, like my whānau was a big support and a big inspiration to me. Especially my mother when I was growing up. My mum used to say when I could barely speak, I used to hum. And that's when she knew that I was going to become a singer. And then eventually down the track, I didn't believe in myself, but people pushed me, and my mum and my dad was a big inspiration with that. So, and then voila, I met, the journey just started when I met everyone. So, me personally, that's my aspiration and inspiration for why I'm in this business, and really to encourage, everybody to, just like everybody in here, we're all here to inspire people to go for their dreams. And, for me, I loved watching, my idols, R&B singers and everybody, and think, oh, you know what, I can do that, and then eventually when I got here, I was like, I want to be that person on that stage to be like, if I can make it, anybody can make it. you know, and I think that's the same for everyone, really.
A small town people are here. Eh?
Yeah. No matter where you come from, like whether it's a small town, big town, anything like that. So, you know, that's a personal one for me. I don't know about you, Estelle.
Yeah. No, so very similar. Because I mean, like us all, we probably all grew up in loud musical families. So yeah, I think that's probably the best way actually to describe our group as a loud musical family.
Yeah. We certainly all come from loud musical families. I don't know for you, 432. You spoke about the focusing together as a team, but what inspires the team to kind of stick together and keep that dream moving forward?
So to keep again the focus. There's no focus for us. Right now, it's empowering our rangatahi. Getting them at a different angle, and our love for music is definitely a way that we're keeping it going forward. We're keeping our reo going forward. We're still keeping our hitori. We're still pushing that forward, as well as individual interest in different genres. Because personally, myself, I'm a person who likes gospel, who likes jazz and funk, as well as soul. We try to keep each other and each other's personal interests. We try and somehow collaborate them into a way where it's different and it's cool. We've never heard it before, but I don't know. Puhi might have something on her personal side that she might chuck up too.
Yeah, I guess as a crew, we're really good at going with the feels. So whether because, like Jada said, all of us individually have different genres that obtain to us personally. When we do come together, you can definitely see the different personality and types. When we do come together to the table type thing. But I guess what gets us as a crew to the line of finishing a song is I don't know, that's a bit of a hard question, but how we all come to the table is the parts where we can feel what needs to be there and what doesn't. So we I guess we kind of do go off feel quite a lot and vibe. And if we're yep, that resonates to me, or I know rangatahi that are they'd resonate to that. That's kind of where we're no, we're on the right track. So yeah, I guess vibe and feel is basically how what guides us as a crew to writing our waiata. But I guess as inspirations to us, we have too many. We got asked that question not long ago, and we were sitting there for ages trying to figure out just pick one, but we couldn't. But I guess that's what our own inspiration as a crew is just the whole industry and different genres. So yeah.
Awesome. No, lovely answers, and I hope for you, Ray, that answers your patai around what's your inspiration. So thank you for sending in your question. Let's take a look at our next patai that's come in from Facebook, and this is from Lars. And Lars, his question is: any readers of music amongst those being interviewed? And I guess just by looking at your reaction, Puhi, you might be able to answer this question.
Yeah, hi, Dad. Yeah, so I guess I'll speak for me personally, because obviously I don't know everyone else. No, I don't read music, but my dad's pushing me to, so I'm guessing that's where this question stemmed from. But yeah, no, I don't read music, but definitely would like to, because I've realized now, just starting this journey, that it is beneficial. Especially coming into the industry with top dogs, it's almost expected to know that stuff. So yeah, no, I don't yet. Short answer, but I will soon. Yeah.
I'm sure that you'll make your dad proud very, very soon. If I can come to you, Rakai, just in regards to this part, in regards to reading music, has that been something as part of your musical journey?
Yes and no. So I used to study commercial music in Wintec here in Waikato. And that was the paper I failed. And I have not completed that degree to this day. So my answer to that is coal. But that's what tactical, what Puhi said, it's a big help for artists, to, especially in the creative mode. Once you've got lyrics, if you know how to play the piano, the guitar, you can add your tune straight away. Where for me, I tend to just hum, or I wasn't fortunate enough with those gifts. Sorry, Fane. My instrument is my voice. And I might aspire one of my tamariki to learn how to read.
Nice.
That might be my goal through my tamariki, is that they can read, they can play the guitar for dad or play the piano for dad down the line. But
lovely. And I see Melodica there. They were putting their hand up. So I'm assuming that that's a yes to being able to read music.
Sure. Yeah, sure.
No, we are very similar to we have, No, I don't even play an instrument, which is, I mean, you stole mine.
This is This is our instrument. I think one of our band members have a fair idea, but for us to no.
We can't help in that area either.
Yeah, sorry.
What about for you, Jada? Is there? I guess we've all got our fingers crossed that somebody tonight is able to read music.
So when I was younger, I learned piano. So we had to learn the notes, See, I don't even remember now that I'm older. So we're like halfway there, so we can just like half cross our fingers.
Yeah. We're almost there.
When I was younger,
almost there. All good.
Yeah. I used to be able to read them and like staccato and all of that. But as I got older, I ended up learning like my dad, hearing the notes by ear, and so yes and no. Oh, actually, no. We'll go no.
Well, I know it's something that we all can, I guess, do as part of our mahi kāinga, and probably just try and do for the back of our pockets. But thank you, Lars, for sending in your pāpai, and I know that he will probably message you shortly about that question. Let's take a look at some other questions that have come in on Facebook, and this one is from Michelle, and the question is, what inspiration do you draw when creating music? And I can't, was it Pui or JD kind of spoke about that music scene and the music artists such as Bob Marley that kind of gave you inspiration. Is that kind of where 432 get the inspiration when creating music?
Short answer, yes and no. If that's a short answer, that's my short answer. But basically, like we kind of get inspiration off each other, if that makes sense. Like because we are, like I said before, we all are so powerful. We all have such powerful personalities. The inspiration we just pick off each other because we all have strengths in different aspects. And when it comes to music, so like the boys kind of chip in when it comes to like the composition of the melodies and the ad libs and all of that stuff, and then myself, Jada, and I kind of jump in when it comes to the like the lyric composition or harmony sometimes as well. So like I guess I'd say our inspiration comes off each other, and that's basically where we've drawn the best music from our crew, is when we do vibe off each other and not try to go from like trends or other people, because we kind of get lost with our own sound. So that was probably my answer. It's just each other. That's our inspiration.
Yeah, and you'd agree with that, Jada?
Yeah, I agree. 150%.
Yeah.
Nice. And if I can come to you, Shane and Christelle, we spoke about, I guess, the diversity within the groups, but as a team, just looking at, when you guys create music together, just, how do you guys draw upon that inspiration to create and deliver music?
Well, because we have like all different types of backgrounds when it comes to creating music, I suppose what we do is that, we have a certain system where we sit down and one might focus on this, one might focus on that, and that's like, and we'll sit there, throw brainstorm ideas off each other, of different things that we think will work when it comes to creating the music.
Yeah.
Like things like sounds that we may have heard in like other songs that we are in our genre of music that we like. We just kind of like try and pick from the tree, from each fruit tree, and then see what kind of smoothie we can make.
Yeah.
And I guess, as like I said earlier, like it kind of just works. We just have this system where we sit down, jam. If we don't like it, we have like an open forum to kind of be like, this isn't what we think will work, but maybe we should add this to it. And so we can spend like sleepless nights sitting in a studio, and I think everybody can appreciate this, like the amount of mahi it goes into creating a song.
Yeah.
And the amount of work, like, and everybody works, normal 9-to-5 jobs that, everything's done after hours. So, we sit there and we just kind of pick and disagree, love and hate each other, and all of that jazz. But nearing the end of it, we all have this agreement at the end of it that, okay, this is what we like. We like this sound, and that's it.
And I think too, if you hear our songs, you'll hear our, like, how we vocally bring ourselves to the song. So like you'll hear maybe Kane, he's a bit more, grungier, like, and you'll hear that in his voice. And that's how we kind of bring our own flavor to the song vocally. You'll see that, I'm a bit of an R&B, lover. So you'll hear that in my voice, and so is Shane. He likes, R&B and all that kind of soul music. And then there's Sam. Sam's like bluesy. So like it's very,
again, it's very diverse. And so all we do is we just kind of pick our strengths. Pick whatever we think is going to work, and then that's what's going to inspire whatever song that we are going to create.
Or that's produced,
Nice. Nice. And I guess for you, Rakai, I mean, you're a solo artist, so, and we know that you've come from a strong musical background. You've got some strong and inspiration. How difficult or how easy is it for you to get that inspiration to draw on when you're creating music?
It all depends on the wairua sometimes. Like I've had experiences where lyrics have just flown down to me from a waterfall, and it was just easy. And when I've had moments where I've hit a wall hundreds of times and the song doesn't end up getting completed. There's other tools that I've sort of learnt, such as going to Wintec, doing musical workshops. And so sometimes most of the times I tend to try and have the lyrics in hand before any melody or any tune, thinking of any tunes, just to make myself accountable, so that when I can go to someone that has the skill to create the music and all of that, I'm not mucking them around, and we're not just trying to go off the cuff. And then if we do find the melody, I've got the lyrics to complete the waiata. But not all that process doesn't always go like that. Sometimes it just changes, and sometimes you can't really help it. But a lot of aspirations really go back to my strengths, which is te reo Māori. Sometimes I try and not overcomplicate the reo. I know a lot of Māori music out there at the moment yes, it's funky, yes, it's groovy, but a lot of our people don't really understand what they're saying. And that's sort of the art form that our ancestors have was in composition, was being able to create Māori waiata where everyone can understand, you know. Ahakoa he te kupu, he nui te kōrero. Those sort of skills and traits that sort of guide me in my composition. But majority of the time, I do draw inspirations from te ao Māori. But have been following a lot of recent, Māori artists, such as Rei, such as Maimua, Mohi. A lot of rangatahi Māori out there releasing good Māori waiata and sort of just trying to keep up with the rangatahi, really. With the rangatahi, trends change just like overnight. So it's pretty much just making sure you're adaptable and open to change, open to being open, really. Being open-minded to be able to write about anything. But lately, I've been going towards history, like with educational waiata. So in terms of those type of waiata, I've got to have like material resources so that I can actually do the resources and so that the lyrics are truthful and have backup and those sort of things. So, yeah.
Yeah, no, awesome. Kapai. Thank you for that. And thank you to Michelle, too, for sending in your partai. And our whānau is sending in the questions thick and fast. So let's go to another question that's come in on Facebook. And this is from via Wendy. And she's saying she's so happy Melodica has released an English song. Any waiata Māori in the future coming from Melodica?
Yeah, I heard that through the grapevine. Yeah, we are looking into it, and we have done one. We didn't release it yet, so.
But we did. But MFM did get the exclusive on that one.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that release shortly, but it's certainly work in progress for
certainly a work in progress.
For our Māori song, definitely.
Yeah, can't wait. Thank you, Fire Wendy, for sending in your partai this evening. Let's take a look at another question that's come in online, and this is from Taioha. And the question is, what platforms are you using to release your guys' music? And I guess I'll probably just quickly start with you, Shane, because you alluded to it just before with the previous question. So in terms of platforms, what are you guys using to release your guys' music?
Currently, we're just on Facebook at the moment. So a lot of it's just coming and streaming through there, which is on Melodica through our Facebook. So if you want to go and follow and have a listen to all our music, you can find everything on there. We do have a few videos up online on YouTube as well. We are hoping to expand that and move into just normal streaming and release everything on all platforms, which we are currently working on.
Kapai, awesome. And what about for you guys, 432? What? Because I know that you guys, you use Facebook quite a lot. Is that the only platform that you guys use to release your music, or is that the only platform that you will be using to release your waiata?
No, hey, we actually got like Facebook, Instagram, what else do we have?
TikTok. Our waiata will be released on Spotify, so there's that as well. But basically, at the moment, Facebook's been like our main platform, Facebook and Instagram as well. I feel like it's because that's probably where our generation mostly is at this moment on time. So Facebook and Instagram's been blowing up a bit, and then we've branched out to TikTok. Not so great on there, so go follow our TikTok whānau, get us the views. And then also social media, Spotify. Our waiata will be released on Spotify at the end of the month. So
nice, kapai. And I know Rakai, you've already released your waiata a little while ago, not a little while, just a few weeks ago. What platform did you use to release your single?
So with my waiata, I partnered with a kamupene called DRM. So they stands for Digital Rights Management. So they pretty much pitch your waiata to all the platforms that they think where they think your waiata best suits your sound and all of that. So at the moment, it's currently Apple Music, Spotify, but it's just there is like a percentage that they get for your mahi, but it sort of saves you having to physically pitch to every single app, every store, and so DRM takes pretty much care of all of that for me. So I'm not too sure. I think my wife is apparently on this French app, and I'm trying to find the name of it at the moment, but I can't.
Nice.
But it's everything's covered by DRM at the moment.
Going international. That's lovely. Awesome. I hope that answers your pātai, Taioha, and thank you for sending in your pātai. I know that we've kind of gone over time a little bit, but let's just take a couple more questions before we look to wrap up. And tēnā koe, anō, kia ora whai, Wendy. Puhi wai ora ngā waka. Do you fellas have a manager, or are you the boss?
No, I'm not the boss. I'm just the big mouth. That's not me. So we do have a manager. Our manager is Shannara Tuopuki. She's the man. She's pretty much from get-go had our back 4 years ago before we even thought about music. And she was actually the one that threw that idea that we should be combined and make a crew. So she's the boss. But in saying that, she makes us be the big mouth, so you wouldn't even know she was there if you didn't know us. But Shannara, she's the man. She's the one that's gotten us all our opportunities and have been there for us from day dot. So, nice. I'm not the boss.
Nice. Kapai. Thank you, Whai Wendy, for sending in your pātai. And she's on a roll tonight. When and where are you all next performing? So I think we can kind of go around the room with this one. So we'll start with you, Puhi. When are you guys performing next?
I'll pass that to Jada real quick.
Okay. At the moment, we have no live performances just because we're waiting for our single to be released at the end of the month.
Yeah.
So that's pretty much our performance. Is our video clip that you'll hopefully get to see later on. But yeah, that's pretty much our performance.
After May, we hope to be doing more live performances, but
yeah.
And we'll certainly be watching. And what's in store for you, Rakai? Are you performing anytime soon in the next couple of weeks? Sorry, and I think we've got you on mute again.
Kia ora. Monday, the 6th of June, so Queen's birthday weekend. It's a kaupapa called the Pacific Island Events, and performing on the Māori stage in Tamakimakere.
Nice.
And I'm trying to sort of stay away from live performances at the moment, due to wanting to release another single before the end of the year. But yeah, open to sort of anything at the moment.
Nice, kapai. And for you, melodica, is there anything in the pipeline in terms of any performances that's up and coming?
There's something in the works that we can't really talk about at the moment, but what I can say is hopefully by the end of June-ish.
Okay.
Well, before then, we'll announce that on our Facebook and that. So just follow us there. But
we've kind of been real similar with releasing music as well. So that's what we've been kind of focusing on is recording, making, and releasing. So there's something in the pipeline, but we just haven't really confirmed.
And we'll talk a little bit more about what's coming next. But I just want to say thank you to Whai Wendy and everyone that's sent in their questions this evening. I hope that they've all answered your pātai. As we look to wrap up our kōrero this evening, if I can come to you, Puhi and Jada, on your Facebook page, it says that you're a musical rōpū that's creating homegrown music that feels good to the soul, and watching your recent high note challenge. certainly made us laugh. And that just makes us really excited for what's on the horizon. And you spoke about you're releasing a single towards the end of the month. So can you kind of just share with us a little bit more about that, and I guess what's in the pipeline for 432?
Yeah, cool. So basically, our first wāta called "Going Home." That'll be released at the end of this month. Following that, we are actually in the middle of working on our second song as well. So we're hoping to drop the second song not long after the end of this month. Yeah, I forgot your question. Sorry.
I was just looking about what's in store for 432.
Oh yeah, right. I remember. Yeah, I remember. Yeah, cool. So we plan on, like I said before, doing a bit of live shows, and hopefully a tour comes in that. But obviously we have to get more waiata out. So at the moment we're just working on waiata. But other than that, we do the goal of making an album has been thrown on the table. So I think that's a bit of our drive, is just pumping out waiata as fast as we can. Because this first song's taken us 6 months, and we didn't expect it to take this long. So in the future, we hope to pump out waiata faster than what this first song's been about to drop in. All that.
Nice.
Yeah.
Right.
Album.
Well, yeah, absolutely. An album is on the way, and we'll certainly all be looking forward to that. If I can come to melodica, we know that there's a strong Filipino following there, and you kind of touched on the single. Are we allowed to talk a little bit more about that? And I guess what's happening after the official release for melodica?
Yeah. So we currently have a song on radio at the moment on EV radio, and it's called Kaleidoscope World. It was actually a taonga from the Philippines, because a lot of people from the Philippines really enjoyed our little twists on their music, on their music that we done previously, so that we kind of had all these projects that were kind of handing around, and then they gifted us a song called Kaleidoscope World, which is an old alternative rocky kind of song that was done, because they have like a big vast range of music too, and it was in English. So we decided to change and shape that into a New Zealand or revive. Yeah, that's a good word. In English. So currently we have it playing on radio at the moment. It's a song about togetherness, again, what we're about, of just being together as one. If you hear the song, it pretty much speaks itself, exactly what it's supposed to mean.
It's just about bringing everyone together, eh?
Yeah, and we're looking at dropping it on all platforms at the start of June.
Yeah.
Nice. All platforms starting June. Looking forward to that. And if I can come to you, Raka, you've recently released your latest single, Aroha, and it's been getting some awesome reviews right across the motu. Can you just tell us, I guess, your reaction to how successful it's been over the last few weeks, and what's next for Raka Fofo after the month of May?
I think the whole build up to the release was probably more nerve-wracking than like the aftermath of the release. Just trying to make sure everything was all done properly and all of that. So it was pretty much just like a weight off my shoulders once the song was released. A lot of mahi, a lot of hard work, a lot of time spent into the mahi finally, out there to the public. So really, really grateful for that. To be honest, it's just to pretty much maintain MA within the industry, really. Whether it's single releases, EPs, albums, collaborations, it's just being able to sustain and maintain a career within the industry, and also being able to find avenues where I can possibly do this full time. At the moment, being a kako full time, that sort of does take me away from from music. So a lot of times I do really think of doing this full time. So maybe that's probably like a 5-year goal for myself within the industry, is to be able to do to live off my music, and be able to actually perform and travel with my family. But pretty much just a lot of waiata Māori, waiata Pākehā, aharane, pretty much just trying to maintain emu within the industry at the moment. And a big thing that I'm looking into is collaborations with rangatahi and also other household names. But I really want to go back to my iwi and to sort of create opportunities there, where we can sort of give a voice for our rangatahi Māori, create songwriting retreats for our rangatahi, and sort of find avenues where we can reach out to our rangatahi Māori instead of them having to reach out. So yeah, I'm looking into that, trying to utilize my teacher world and music world, and seeing where I can sort of create wānanga and find funding to sort of get that underway. But pretty much just being present in the industry, collaborations, keeping up to date with a lot of our grassroots artists. I know there are a lot of artists that I still don't know that are New Zealand artists, and yeah, that's pretty much what's on the horizon. Yeah.
Sounds like you've got a very, very busy schedule, but we're certainly looking forward to all the achievements and the wonderful music that you're going to produce over the next few weeks and certainly months, years ahead. We've certainly gone well and truly way over our allocated time slot. So just very, very quickly, if I can just quickly go around the room and just maybe ask you all this last question, and it's just around inspiration and words of encouragement for rangatahi, for musicians, for people from Maniapoto who want to follow in your footsteps. So what words of advice, what words of encouragement would you give to our whānau in a short few words? And if I can begin with you, Jada, and then we'll work our way around.
Cool. It might be cliche, but kia mau ki tōu kaipo. Don't dim your light for anybody, and utilize your motivation as your focus and your drive. So that's some kupu from me, whānau.
Ka pai, tēnā koe. Kia koe, Rākai?
Words of wisdom. Don't be, I guess, don't be afraid to be different. Find your why. That's sort of a big drive. Find your why, and then you'll find your purpose within the industry. And also, geez, I just have it in my upoko. And just have fun again. Yeah, I did have another flash sentence over here somewhere, but it's run away with the birds. So. But yeah, just be yourself. Don't be afraid to be different.
Yep. Lovely. Awesome advice there. And Shane and Christelle, what would be your words of encouragement to our whānau who want to get into the music scene?
I think a big thing would just be just to do it. Like, if it feels good, if it feels right, do it. Don't worry about what everyone else thinks. Don't worry about what everyone else is doing. Just do it. I mean, it took me a while to get confidence in my own self. So, if it feels right and it feels good, yeah, just do it and have fun. Always, yeah, that's probably, I think, the most important thing is just to have fun with it, because you don't want it to feel like a chore. So just do it. Go and do it.
Yes, go and do it. Ka pai. And for you, Shane?
And same, just do it. If that's what's going to make you happy at the end of the day, do it. And again, have fun. You know, music is about having fun and enjoying it, because if you're enjoying it, others will too. So don't, again, like, just go for it. Don't let anybody else tell you anything different. If that's what your passion is, do it.
Awesome. And finally, to you, Puhi Waiora, what would be your words of encouragement to, especially to our rangatahi who are watching tonight?
So I fully agree with what everyone said. I think, that's advice that I would have said myself. But I guess adding on to that, another one, something that I've like had to learn recently was definitely like trust the process. If like what the Kazi said, if it feels right, just do it, and then trust the process, because that's definitely something that I myself has had to like learn recently in our careers, that it doesn't take as long as you'd expect it to take. It might take longer or might be faster. So it's definitely trust the process. And I guess how you know you're on the right track is if it feels like it, then your kid's pie. Like, just go with it and trust that it'll get to where it needs to be. But yeah.
Oh boy. Certainly some awesome advice there from all of our homegrown and very talented Maniapoto artists. And look, I just want to say thank you all for sharing with us your experiences and your journey within the music world. And I also just want to acknowledge, the mahi that you are all doing to ensuring that music continues to be an important part of our lives. E te tuakana rakai tēnā koe Puhi Waiora and Jada from 432, Christelle and Shane from Melodica. Look, we wish you all the very best with all of your musical endeavours, and we hope you enjoy the rest of New Zealand Music Month. And no doubt everybody will be looking forward to all of the new music, the new content that's going to be coming out from all of you in the very, very near future. Yaku whanaunga, e mihana kia koutou katoa. Well, e Tiwi, that wraps up our session for tonight. New Zealand Music Month continues to run until the end of May, and there's a number of various kaupapa happening across the motu. So for more details about how you can support our homegrown talent, you can head to www.nzmusicmonth.co.nz. And as always, MFM will keep you up to date with all that is happening within the rohe right across our various platforms. We will be back soon for another live Q&A here on Te Puna Kōrero o te Nehenehenui. Thank you for joining us. Look after one another. Stay safe. Take care. Ki te kotahi te waihoe, ka ora te iwi, pō Marie.